Quick disclaimer, this video is for education only and is not medical advice. If you have a medical condition, are taking medication, are pregnant, or are dealing with a serious health issue, speak with a qualified professional before starting any new wellness routine. Now let's answer this. If you're searching how to use red light therapy properly, what you really want to know is this: how do I use it in a way that actually produces noticeable results? Here's the real answer. Get close enough to receive a meaningful dose. Use it consistently. Match the setup to your specific goal. If those three things are correct, red light therapy becomes predictable and measurable instead of confusing. If you want serious breakdowns of high-end wellness technology without fluff, subscribe now. This channel focuses on what actually matters, especially when you're comparing consumer devices to professional systems. All right, let's build this the right way. Step 1. Understand what red and near-infrared light are actually doing. You do not need a medical degree, but you should understand one concept. Red light, typically around 630 to 660 nanometers, and near-infrared light, often around 850 nanometers, are studied because they can penetrate tissue and interact with cells. Many researchers refer to this process as photobiomodulation. At a simple level, this relates to how light energy can influence cellular energy production. You will often hear people reference mitochondria. That is the part of the cell associated with energy output. This is why red and near-infrared light are explored for things like supporting collagen production, supporting circulation, comfort in joints and muscles, post-workout recovery routines, performance recovery environments, general resilience and tissue support. Professional sports facilities, recovery centers, med spas, and wellness clinics use these systems not because they glow red. They use them because they are engineered to deliver specific wavelengths at specific intensities. That distinction matters. No hype, no magic, but real-world use in serious environments. Step 2. The most misunderstood factor is dose. This is where most people get it wrong. Brightness is not dose. A device can look extremely bright and still deliver very little usable energy to the body if you are too far away. Red light therapy effectiveness depends on irradiance. That is usually measured in milliwatts per square centimeter. Distance changes that number fast. Move a few inches away and the intensity drops. That is why proximity matters. This is also why professional beds are engineered differently from basic panels. Higher-end commercial systems are designed to position the body extremely close to the LEDs across a large surface area. Some contour around the body specifically to reduce wasted space between the LEDs and the skin. That is not about comfort alone. It is about ensuring the irradiance promised on the spec sheet is actually delivered to the body. If you sit 3 feet away from a panel and call it therapy, you are drastically reducing the effective dose. So your first rule is simple. Use the device the way it was designed to be used. Stay within the recommended proximity. Treat it like a session, not ambient lighting. Step 3. Pick one goal and test it properly. Do not try to optimize everything. Pick one focus for 2 weeks. For example, a structured skin support routine, a post-training recovery routine, a comfort-focused routine for a specific area, a full-body recovery session 2 or 3 times per week. When you isolate one goal, you can actually observe change. If you change 5 variables at once, you will feel like it did nothing. 2 weeks of consistent sessions is a clean test window, not forever, just long enough to evaluate. Step 4. Match the device format to your objective. This is where buying mistakes happen. If your goal is targeted use on one area, a smaller device can work. If you are rotating between multiple muscle groups or larger areas, a panel format may make sense. If your goal is full body coverage with minimal setup time, a full body system becomes more efficient. You are not repositioning the light constantly and coverage is consistent. This is also where engineering differences show up. Commercial systems often emphasize high diode counts for even coverage, specific red and near-infrared wavelength combinations, engineered proximity, higher duty cycles for repeat sessions, durability under constant sanitization. That matters in professional settings because downtime equals lost revenue. At home, it matters because consistency equals results. Step 5. Understand why duty cycle and build quality matter. This is something almost no influencer talks about. Professional systems are built for repeated sessions per day, sometimes for years. The diodes in professional systems are rated to operate for tens of thousands of hours. Components are designed to withstand cleaning protocols. Materials are selected to handle daily use. Consumer-grade devices are not always engineered for that level of repetition. If your device overheats, degrades quickly, or loses output consistency, your routine breaks. Consistency is the entire point. Step 6. Build the habit around something real. Red light therapy works best when it becomes part of a structured routine. Attach it to something you already do. After training, after showering, before bed, on specific recovery days. Many users report that beyond physical benefits, the structured pause itself becomes valuable. A few minutes without screens. A defined recovery window, intentional downtime. That psychological consistency reinforces the physical routine. Step 7. Track one measurable outcome. Do not overcomplicate this. Track one thing. If your focus is skin, track appearance and texture over time. If your focus is recovery, track how you feel returning to movement. If your focus is comfort, track intensity and frequency of discomfort during daily activity. If your focus is performance, track how consistently you maintain your training routine. You're not trying to prove a clinical study at home. You are evaluating whether this tool produces meaningful change in your routine. Step 8. Avoid the 2 mistakes that waste months. Mistake 1. Random sessions. 1 session this week, none next week. That creates no pattern. Mistake 2. Underpowered use. Standing too far away, using it inconsistently, expecting dramatic results from minimal exposure. Red and near infrared therapy is not about intensity in 1 session. It's about correct dose and repetition. So here's the proper beginner formula. Choose one goal. Use a setup that delivers a meaningful dose at the correct proximity. Run consistent sessions for 2 weeks. Track one variable, then decide if it earns a permanent place in your routine. That is how serious users approach it. Not as a trend, not as a glow, but as a structured recovery and wellness tool. If you want to compare different red and near infrared system formats, check the link in the description. You can see commercial grade and consumer level options side by side and evaluate what fits your space and objectives. If this breakdown helped, subscribe. On this channel, we focus on understanding high-performance wellness technology at a deeper level so you can make informed decisions. Final reminder. This video is for educational purposes only and is not medical advice. Speak with a qualified professional before starting any new wellness routine if you have medical concerns. Thanks for watching.